What's up, everybody? It's Lids, and today we are checking out the new The Unseen update that just came out, and it's going to include new hidden aspects, new increased difficulty version of various boss fights. The flames have been reworked. There are new ways to build relationships further with other NPCs, and I'm sure many other things as well. So, let's hop in.
Did what I had to do.
Oh, something's up.
Okay, so we did most recently find ourselves doing a whole bunch of the Chaos Trials. I think they did add a whole bunch of those as well, but we're probably going to focus now on doing full-blown runs. Let's see if people have new things to say, though.
We all saw you disappear into that pitch-black stone. Another means by which you may spring into action, retaining the element of surprise. Pretty nice.
That stone has been here all this time. It's so much more than a monument to night, and its origins even more ancient. But I never considered it a weapon in our arsenal.
There is a chance we've heard this before.
Well, not like you can crack me over the head with it, but yeah.
Just because I don't think it always saves conversations that we do right after hopping in there if we close the game soon thereafter. But supposedly there are new secret varieties, new aspects to every weapon. I imagine that means we will not yet see them showing up here. And we have tried a bunch of the new aspects with those Chaos Trials, because it seems like there's more or less one trial per aspect. Yeah, not seeing. There's one or two that we've yet to unlock. But, okay, there is a little bit of new art as well. I think the view of Malinui there. Here, I'll just go back for a second. Pretty sure that's a different pose than what we saw before.
That well-worn storage case by now contains tokens of gratitude from many gods and more. A perpetual reminder that the princess of the dead shall never fight alone.
You're always with me.
Probably a fair bit of new dialogue like that. Ooh, is this the bonus weapon right now, or is that the one that we currently have selected? No, that must be the bonus. It looks quite different the way that they've highlighted that. It's probably more prominent. Yeah, it does highlight it there. And I think that's more bones per location. I think that used to be +2 per location. So that's new,
What say the
or
cards
at least
this eve?
adjusted. And I feel like I saw something mentioning new Arcana cards? Or maybe adjustments to the Arcana cards? I'm sure, you know, a whole bunch of boons have probably been rebalanced, maybe even renamed.
Gotten crowded.
Someone's singing over here. That's totally Ashley Barrett's voice, which might mean nothing to those of you who are relatively new to the Supergiant world. However, she is along with Darren Korb, who's the head of all things music at Supergiant, Ashley Barrett is someone who very often has a role as one of the lead singers in the big title track music pieces that they do for the other Supergiant games, and all of those songs have been fantastic, so I recognize her voice already, and I just want to know where this is coming from.
Artemis.
Is it Artemis? It's definitely coming from over here. So that's definitely new.
Oh, didn't mean to interrupt. I'd not expected this to be a time for song, though neither am I complaining.
It's exactly what I was thinking. On one hand, I was tempted to just stand there and listen to the entire song, although I don't know exactly how long it is.
Nor should you be. Hey, since you're here, why not lend me your voice for old time's sake?
Oh?
Let go your burdens for a bit. Not like they're going anywhere.
Was that supposed to be Artemis singing? Because it's definitely not the same person doing the voice acting for Artemis. Or is it the dough that Artemis is sitting on that seems to be made of stone, yet is somehow possibly singing at the moment? Oh, wait. Hold on.
That's it.
Might also be Ashley Barrett. I'm not 100% sure though. I'd need to hear it isolated. But that's very cool. I did not expect for us to just immediately waltz on into that. But obviously new music as well. Oh, we can talk with you?
You're not getting anywhere, babe. None of us are.
Sort of. Okay. I am curious if Artemis is now just going to be here more or less full-time, because we saw her very occasionally down here before. There might have been this sort of stone statue previously, but obviously Artemis was not sitting on it before. Or is this a one-time thing, or an every once in a while type of thing? I'll be a little bit curious to see. I imagine there are probably new prophecies as well. There definitely are. This looks different just with the UI a bit. A little brighter, more vibrant. Apparently we've done this. Daughter of the God of the Dead shall access the power of every Arcana card available. Oh, okay. That we have. Conveniently, that also gives us a way to upgrade stuff. Those very Arcana cards. This one's new as well. Daughter of the God of the Dead shall confide in the amphibious ally by her tent on no fewer than 6 different nights. Thereafter, many more. Well, that has to be Phrynos. Hold on. Over by where we land when we end a run, and we've definitely talked to him more than 6 times, but I guess it doesn't remember the things we've done in the past, since that is a new update, a new prophecy.
Haven't heard our old song in a while, have you? I'll enjoy it while she's here.
Okay, and that's interesting. That implies that Artemis may not be here long term.
Fresh from the
At least not always. Okay, there may very well be new recipes as well, but why don't we get ourselves going on an actual run here? We can spend a little bit more time in and around town and seeing if there's anything we've missed out on once we're done. So I do think I saw that the torches have been reworked. Oh, yeah, that feels a little bit different. Now, I wasn't sure if it was the base torches or if it was a specific aspect. I think it's just the base torches, because that feels a little snappier, and I think that was what they had said, that that was the goal. Let's just see. Default one? Yeah. Has a little more speed to it, or at least a little more of a natural rhythm. Like, when you do it, it's faster, but there's maybe a little more downtime in between attacks, so it feels a little more responsive, of course. Maybe best tested in an actual run, so maybe we will take some form, at least, of the torches out here. Which aspect would we prefer? Obviously, it's not the bonus weapon, but since it is the one that has been changed most significantly, I think we probably ought to take it nonetheless. Attacks and specials may deal critical damage. Wait, have we really not upgraded that? That sounds like the kind of thing we would like. We need more silver. Wow, I did not realize we hadn't done that yet. Attacks linger for 2 seconds, then explode in a blast if struck by your special. So attack, then follow up with the special. Charged attacks fire a daybreaker that deals damage in an area around it every 2 seconds. Now...
Ignium, awaken.
Oh, I'm not necessarily sure that I meant to upgrade that just then, as much as I meant to just use him. But I should note, although it may seem as though I've been playing a bunch of Hades 2 recently, I recorded almost all of those Chaos Trials in like 1 or 2 sittings, and I haven't actually played the game in about 2 months. So I might still be a little bit rusty. But let's see what we have here. Oh, this is, again, UI changed a little bit here. makes it a little clearer who the specific boss you're supposed to get is for your weapon. It was a little subtle, and we definitely found ourselves in the past sometimes missing out on what would have been a bonus, but now it is much more clear. Now, that being said, I have had some struggles with Eris as of late for whatever reason. I just cannot get a feel for the timing and the range of her skills, which has really been throwing me off, and several runs as of late have ended with Eris, despite her not being the final boss on the surface, but suppose we could still give it a shot. Now, do we... We only need one. Okay. Those deal extra damage. I do usually like this one. I thought there was also a new significant one of these that is the thing that changes the way the boss encounters go. Making them more difficult in theory, and changing them, it seemed like they were suggesting, somewhat dramatically, but not seeing that at the moment. So why don't we just hop in, we'll go up to the surface, I suppose.
Into the cold.
Oh, I didn't even check what keepsake we had. Alright, well, we can change it after this floor if we really want to, and we have Tula, that's probably fine. We have the bonus gold, so that's certainly not bad. And I'm so used to doing the Chaos Trials where we have a bunch of boons right off the bat. Although having a hammer at the very beginning is very nice. Let's see, specials deal extra damage to armor. While you channel your attacks, you move and fire 20% faster. I do remember possibly our first successful run ever. We used the torches and we used the charge attack, which the longer you charge it for, the more the damage scales, and it gets to the point where it is insane how much damage it deals with every hit if you can charge it for a really long time. So this is a little tempting. Channel your charge special faster, and it uses less magic. I mean, I'm intrigued by both these things. Let's go with the attacks. Also would probably help if I reminded myself of what the deal is with the aspect that we took. I know I was just looking at it a minute ago, but as soon as I took that hammer upgrade, I was like, you know, there's a chance that one of those was more synergistic than the other. What do you do again? Charge attacks. Okay, so yeah, all the more reason. Charge attacks is what we're looking for here. Okay. I also don't remember what resource collecting tool we picked up, but that's okay. That's okay.
I'll send you to your graves.
Yeah, I think this is gonna make sense. These areas with lots of people. Yeah, I'm deliberately playing a little bit safely here because as I was saying, I've not played for a little while, so I feel like maybe wait until we get a little stronger before we start getting super aggressive.
Hold still.
But I do remember, I like all the charged abilities on this weapon.
He's back.
Okay, so Poseidon.
That the two of you have finally met. It
Was a while ago, but okay.
Here to welcome you with open arms, not just a bit of curt formality from that one. Not the warmest welcoming committee, is she?
Also, his art is much more vibrant. I mean, I think it's the same sort of base artwork here. It's just that he's a lot shinier than he was before. Okay, ooh. Now I feel like we ought to have double-checked which Arcana cards we had active. That's another thing that was just automatically given to us in the Chaos Trials. So there's a lot of just basic rarity stuff here, which is not really what we're looking for. I think our base attack, it's really important that we get something good on that, because, as I said, if we charge up our attack, we can get some pretty crazy damage. So if we got a higher rarity version of this, it would be great. But we might settle for... In theory, I kind of like the knockback on... Wait, cast immediately... Have we even used his cast before? Hit foes, the powerful splash, then inflicts froth. Huh? I do not remember seeing froth at all. That might be a new thing. I like the idea behind Poseidon's special, because our special goes around in a circle, feels like that's a way to sort of give ourselves a safety barrier. Keep enemies a reasonable distance. Okay, well, what do we have to work with here? So we have Medea, as she oftentimes shows up here. Now, technically speaking, at least percentage-wise, Aphrodite does have the highest, or at least did have, the highest damage attack boon. Of course, those numbers may have been adjusted up, down, or maybe they're the same. I don't remember. I didn't look specifically. But I assume that is likely still the case. So if we're really trying to go all in on that attack, then that might be the way to do it. Oh, did I mention hexes can be upgraded way more, or at least in a new way, after this update? So, especially if we're going to use a bunch of magic when we charge our attack, that is probably tempting as well. So why don't let's take Aphrodite, see what we can get here, and then maybe we'll see what's in the hex room. Does that really knock enemies away? Or did I just assume that it knocks enemies away because it's Poseidon? It might a little bit. Not a lot, though.
How many of these do they have?
Good question. Maybe I'll just break this. Yeah, it kind of seems like... I'm not even sure I made a point of doing this in the past, but you deliberately do this to charge up your special, and then it's just circling around you as you can continue to use your attack. So you're basically getting 2 forms of damage at the same time.
Poseidon boasting he'd already blessed you with his might. Now, just in case one could still be left wanting even after all that.
She's definitely shinier as well, and there's no way this is a duo boon, because we would need to have more stuff already for that to be the case. Deal more damage while we have at least... Or we always deal 9% bonus damage while we have at least 80% health that is up at 18% damage. I'll be honest, that number is still low enough that it's a little hard to get excited about it. I do like this. I wish it was a higher rarity. Whenever you use 40 magic, create a heartthrob, which bursts for 120 damage. It wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. Again, we're kind of anticipating that we're going to be spending a lot of magic on the regular. So not necessarily the exact boon that we were looking for, but it does set Aphrodite precedent, so we should see more of her going forward. Now I'm thinking... it's a little early for this. Hermes can be really good, and there are even some things that get better the longer you have them. The same could actually be said for Medea, so we should probably pay her a visit very soon as well.
Pylon destroyed.
Ooh, okay, I'm not necessarily sure that I intended to do that, but okay. Yeah, so really don't think I ever made a point of doing this before, but ow. You charge up the special, and then you just run around doing your attack, and you get a little bit of the best of both worlds, at least when you don't have that guy throwing his eyeball at you.
Who do you think can make it to the top of Mount Olympus first, then? You or old Typhon? You've got a longer way to go, sure, but you're definitely faster. We're about to be.
Hope so. Of course we know... oh, can dash more frequently. That would help us get faster. So would this. And let's see. Channel your charge cast faster or cast expire faster. That is a huge speed boost. I mean, I would love for this to be... if we got specifically charged attack, that'd be even better. I think we probably do still take this. I assume, although it just says attack, that also includes the charged attack. Again, the faster you charge up, the more quickly that damage starts to scale, and it starts to scale exponentially at that. Okay, so now I think we go to Medea, just because there is a chance... there is a chance...
I celebrate your ways.
Come closer.
Hello! There's a chance that whatever she gives us will get stronger over time. Or at least add up over time. Definitely a little different in here. The vibe is a little darker.
How the dead are drawn to you, sorceress. I've seen it plain. Even the skull of Revolve must worship the ground beneath your feet. I dreamt of her quite recently, in fact.
Oh, that is technically the name of the skull weapon, is it not?
Of all the nocturnal arms, Revolve's connection to the dead perhaps is the strongest. What happened in the dream?
It sent a shiver down my spine. I was in the underworld, yet not the one we know. It was so very cold. And there sat a fierce queen, not your mother, mind you. And she intoned, "I see you gather countless dead in cold and dark domains."
Demeter?
I see you gather countless dead in cold and dark domains. She must have given you a waking phrase. Did she believe you still to be the bearer of the Argent Skull?
I have no idea what a waking phrase is.
I doubt that, because it's you we saw bearing the skull, not I. My time with her for now has passed. Yours, it seems, may be only beginning.
Okay, maybe some foreshadowing.
I see you gather countless dead in cold and dark domains.
Oh, yup, okay, that's something. I guess we'll hopefully figure that out. Let's see. Bow's range shots have less travel speed, could be useful against, I'm thinking ahead to Eris, and she definitely has some ranged attacks that have caused trouble in the past. After a foe joins the encounter, randomly takes 1 to 999 damage. We have taken this before, and it might occasionally one-shot enemies as soon as they come in, at least the relatively basic enemies. After a foe joins the encounter, loses 50% of any armor it has. Now that's more reliable in that you know it's always going to activate on armored enemies, except there aren't that many armored enemies, except the enemies that are armored are stronger, so it is useful. Still, it's kind of similar, these two. Bosses don't have armor unless something unusual is about to happen, I don't know. Maybe we still go with this one.
As above, so below.
Oh.
Thank you.
Okay. New prophecy foretold as well. So yeah, seems like Medea definitely has some new stuff. Not just her zone. Also, what is... Oh, that's from... That's our aspect. Right. That is a thing. That is another reason to use charge attacks. The zone transition, that little art is a little bit different as well.
The barrier's lost some of its strength.
Okay, so we only have 3 rooms left. Definitely do want a hex. Oh, I think I also double-checked, and there are still a few gods and goddesses who we have not yet gotten the initial gift to, have not given the initial gift to, and therefore have not yet gotten their keepsake. Hestia is one of them. I think Zeus is the other, at least of the major gods and goddesses. So it's a little tempting to go for one of those two for that reason, although maybe not a coincidence. They're the ones that we have not gotten the keepsakes from, because at least in Hestia's case, I feel like it is very rare that I'm going out of my way to pick up her boons. Zeus, every once in a while. Usually once we have a specific god or goddess, we kind of want to double down on them to see if we can get some synergies going. I think that definitely could be the case with Poseidon, so I would like to take him here. That. Ooh. Nope. Please don't hit me. Just trying to get rid of that. Does that always have an arm in it? It's very small and fairly subtle, but there is a hand sticking out of it. Yeah, you can see the hand at the very bottom, at the moment at least. Okay, I'd like to go back to doing this. Please don't hit me with that, though. I feel like... Oh, what? Excuse me? That didn't just respawn, that was, you know, a truly new one, right? Otherwise, oh, that was horrible. Yeah, I was about to say, I feel like we are not really flying through zones the way I would perhaps like us to be. Oh, we are running out of the magic as well. It's leading to us taking some silly damage. Room's taking longer. We can still do basic specials. Come on. Break your armor. Now it becomes much easier. Okay, that was... Excuse me! I don't even know what happened there. My character just froze for a solid second. That was actually really frustrating. I got hit twice for that reason. That makes me kind of mad. And if we were performing a little bit better, then of course we'd have a little more margin for error, but we're at half health right now. Flash effects from Poseidon also inflict froth, and froth deals more damage. Gas also immediately hit foes, and that inflicts froth. Okay, I'm gonna go with this one, in part because of the higher rarity, and also in part because it does potentially synergize more with future Poseidon stuff. That means our special probably is our strongest right now. Oh, okay. Well, that's the froth, theoretically. Okay. It's just a little extra. Oh, we're actually up to 4 for the water boons right now, which I suppose isn't that surprising, given that we've done a fair bit with Poseidon already. But we only have 2 rooms left. As I said, I do want to get a Hex. I feel like we might need to go with the double heart, in part because of the damage we've taken. We will have the option to heal here. Oh, hello.
Stay out of their way.
Or should I? Because they do drop precisely... Okay, not precisely. Sometimes 1 gold apiece, but not always. Okay. I mean, this is good value on this room. Oh, hello. Especially if Hercules is here. Heracles, sorry.
I'm on the job. Better get to work.
Excuse me, Lids. That is the Roman spelling?
What have we here?
Okay, so I'm gonna be honest with you. I am not confident that we are going to be able to beat him here. Does he damage us when he does that? I don't know. I'm gonna deliberately break this. The intention... Okay. Or we're just gonna, like, die straight up. Like, this run might be awfully short at this rate. We're doing horribly. We got some gold. I'm pretty sure he got more kills than us.
Count it.
Thankfully, we get some health there, and we certainly needed it. Yeah, we do have your keepsake already.
Have you had any run-ins with the Titan Prometheus while on Olympus recently? He seems to be the one leading the assault forces besieging your family's home.
And for what it's worth, there is still reason to give additional nectars and whatnot to people even after you've gotten their keepsake. We just haven't been that aggressive on that front and still have people that we've yet to get their initial keepsake from, so that's going to be our point of emphasis.
Is he now?
In all likelihood.
That's rich. Wasn't he supposed to be tied up on some mountain someplace else, getting picked apart?
That is true.
How do you not know he's free?
Except
you should be hunting
now
him,
he is
not
free.
This fodder. Who's setting your objectives?
My orders come directly from the King and Queen. If you've any concerns with how I'm carrying out my work, just go complain to them.
When you say King and Queen, do you mean of Olympus? Meaning Zeus and Hera? Okay, I'm expecting you to leave? Unless you're sticking around because we still have the option to gift or salute you, which might be new. I feel like they, in the past, would always run away in that situation. Yeah, so we're gonna have to clean this up, because it is not going very well at the moment, and right now these little bonus mini boons don't directly help us. That's not very useful. At least not at the moment. Maybe in the future we'll get something that will build off of that. And, I mean, at some point, I very much would like to get a Hex. We don't have a lot of magic, or any magic restoration right now, which means it's actually a little limited how much value we can get out of that. So, part of me is wondering if it's actually worth skipping that and taking a chance, just hoping that we're going to get Selene showing up later on. Even then, though, of course, if you can stack as many Selenes as possible, it definitely starts to make your Hex significantly stronger, so we should probably still do it. It's those little stabby goblin dudes here, causing us a fair bit of trouble. Especially when they're armored, because then you can't stagger them. It makes it a lot easier for them to just load up on tons of damage. I'm gonna break this now. Well, that was not the last of them, though. Unfortunately. How we do? Oh, we no magic. That's how we're doing when it comes to magic. No, don't hit me. Theoretically, at least once they're armorless, hitting them with the special should be fairly safe because it knocks them back. Okay, apparently we did take the hammer. That's good because I can't remember the last time we picked up some of that. Okay, well, we actually do have a fair bit of that. I think it's the silver from the first floor below the surface that we are more in need of at the moment.
Draw you down, O moon. Lend me your light.
You bear the flames of Ignium, but in the guise of Eos. My sister, in her youthful ignorance, knows nothing about this. May she enjoy her morning rides until a distant age.
I did not realize we are apparently using your sister's weapon. Okay, so I think I'm hesitating to use the word aspect because that means something different in the context of Hades, but there's a different component to the hexes now. I'm not sure if we're seeing them yet or if that's only going to happen later. Let's see. Your hex launches seeking projectile, inflicts morph on up to 5 susceptible foes. We've seen that before. Hex makes you rise up, crash down, target area 200 damage. Hex blast, large target area for I mean, in general, this is the one that I like the most. It does take the most magic before it's ready to go, and it probably takes the longest. It takes the most upgrades before it feels really good, but once you do get it highly upgraded, it becomes absolutely amazing and potentially run-winning. So we might need to be a little patient with it. However, perhaps... Huh? Wait, did I take the one that I meant to take? Oh, this is not the one that I thought it was. Oh, I take it back. I thought it was the laser beam one. It is not the laser beam one. We have taken this one as well, of course, but which is not what I was expecting. Oh, well, that's good timing. Okay, so it might be here where we start to see the changes. Oh, we have 3 to work with. Okay, so let's see. Hex also creates 3 smaller blasts, deal additional damage. For user Hex, foes in target area take more damage. If your Hex strikes a Guardian, your next Hex charges up. And the big ones are whenever you use your Hex, gain plus 50 armor until the next blast. I do not remember ever having seen anything like that. Hex also fires your charge cast in the target area immediately after the blast. Now, the big ones at the end here do increase the cost. This is a little weird, this one here. Yes, it gives you 50 armor, which is nice. However, it only lasts until the next blast, so you can't just use it to farm infinite armor. Maybe for balance reasons that's necessary, but feels like the potential is a little less. I mean, it's functionally... You get 50 armor. If you lose 50 armor while you're in the process of charging up your next hex, then you cast your next hex, you get the 50 armor back. It's almost like you're healing, since it is rechargeable armor. So you could still maybe make the case going for it. What was this one over here? I mean, that does work pretty well with this. Because then even if you're taking a lot of damage very quickly, you can spam the hex more often, and at that point it does become more like a heal. Obviously, we're taking that. Then... Ooh, I really like that. That's a lot of... Wait, whoa. Walk in with it 80% charged? I mean, that's pretty hard to turn down. Are there any that give us the automatic charging over time? Don't think I'm seeing any of it. There's a chance that's been removed, and this is now replacing it. I don't know. But we'll go that route, at least for now. Of course, we would like to get a lot more Selene. Okay, and I think that was the last room. Yeah. So we can heal here, and it, by the time we walk in the next room, actually will get us fully healed. So I know we took a bunch of silly damage. Fortunately, we're able to heal that off. And then, since we took the keepsake for the extra gold, we do have a lot of monies to work with here, and then we got a little more from that Heracles encounter as well. What is this?
Across the river Acheron, the underworld boatman travels between realms, through hidden borders, unseen as a shadow in the dark.
Is there anywhere Lord Charon cannot row?
He's like, well, I'm not a huge fan of going up to the summit. Okay. No Hephaestus yet. So this would be precedent setting. Then this is gonna upgrade one of our existing boons, and don't love our special just because it's minimum rarity. And I would really like to be getting an attack boon, but I remember the attack boons for Hephaestus, they have the, I mean, much like many of his boons, they give you a big burst of damage, and then you have a cooldown before you can do it again. And if we're trying to think of this from the standpoint of stuff that works well with our charged attack, because that is the thing we would like to focus on, then I don't think that's the right fit, because we want something that gives us consistent damage so that when we multiply it after charging up for a long time, it really starts to add up. And that's just, I don't think, gonna work much. Potentially not much at all, really. In fact, I don't even know how our charged attack with the torches works when this has, I think, just a fixed amount of damage. The whole point of the charge attack with the torches is that it's not a fixed amount of damage. So I think we take this first. It's Slippery Slope, which is you, which does indirectly affect Wave Flourish and mean we have all the more reason to try to take more Poseidon boons in the future. We will still take this. I'm just saying this is not really what we're looking for, even if we really would like to get an attack boon soon. This would be useful, except we don't have that much life right now. Well, we took the double Centaur Heart previously. Weapons deal more damage based on your armor, and we gain some now. That sounds new to me. It's 20% of your armor. Okay, so it'd be 10% damage initially, and then it obviously would go down, and we'd have a very strong reason to focus heavily on acquiring armor in the future, which actually is possible if we were to upgrade our Hex more, except we went in the other direction. So, in an alternate universe, this might have made a fair bit of sense, but I think we're just going to go with the simple one. Okay. So, I I mean, we could take this, but I feel like we would be better served saving our gold.
Polyphemus.
Oh, that's a little
you
new.
can mess with how things work at night. Between the feeling in my gut and the nonsense you've been talking, I can tell you've been up to no good. You some kind of witch.
I mean, that is true.
Since you're finally wising up to our true strength, know that you violate the will of Night herself by standing in my way.
That is true.
See, there you go again with all the fancy talk. But hey, I
Little
can
New
go for
York
a
accent.
fancy meal just as soon as a tough piece of meat. Maybe you're both.
Yes, we still don't really have a good source of damage. I'm gonna be honest with you. It might be that the froth is our best. Now, if you could just stand right there still, that would be lovely. No, you were not. That just missed, didn't it? That's frustrating. Yeah, we would technically like to use our charge attack, although, as I said, we don't really have that much going with our charge attack at the moment. That's actually pretty useful for dodging him while still dealing damage to him, which is something that we've had a little bit of issue with in the past. Not see that. And this is where having more magic, or at least some magic restoration, would be really useful. He is really keen on using his ranged attacks. Where'd you go? Oh. What are you? Oh. Okay, it just looks a little different now. Trying to get rid of these guys because they can get a little bit annoying. Oh, please don't do that.
I'll find you.
Trying to play this relatively slow and safe, in large part because of our lack of power. Go, Tula! Probably doing just as much damage as we are, if not more. Trying to get rid of that ranged guy, but the game really does not want to let me lock onto him. Like, really does not want to let me lock onto him. I do think we've seen from some of our previous Chaos trials in which we've deliberately extended our fight with Polyphemus. Yeah, you see this, it does way more damage. We have seen that he can spawn more of these guys, like so, and he can also heal. So technically, if you play it really slow, then it is a Sisyphusian task.
Fever sheep.
Couldn't have gone far.
Not really sure what the significance of this green sheep is. If that's like specifically the one that he can eat.
Wake up, wake up.
Or what?
This is a sheep.
Oh! Did that damage him? It did damage him. Okay, so there's our answer. That's a little bit different. You trick him into eating that sheep, and it deals a little bit of damage. I think. Saw the numbers popping up and made the comment. Oh, come on. If we had a little more range on that, it would also be easier to hit you with it.
No use hiding from me.
Knock that over there. And he knocks the sheep away. Yeah, he says gonna be sick? Okay. So that's interesting. That's a new little mechanic. I mean, we probably wouldn't have noticed that if we were zooming through. No, see that. Ooh. Oh, and there was the new sheep. Two new sickening sheep. Oh, yeah, stay right there. Go. Eat one of them. And I don't know. Sheep are always good. Is he catching up? I wonder. I wonder if there's actually functionally a limit. Okay, now I'm just getting aggressive and face tanking when perhaps I shouldn't be. I'm starting to get a little impatient with it. I wonder, really, I tried to run. You can see I ran into the side of the wall there, tried to dodge out of the way, but didn't get my angle just right. So I wonder if you can only get him to eat the... Now I'm getting actually frustrated. That time I just wasn't able to dodge at all. Of course, the longer the fight goes, the more you risk that these types of things have time to happen. I'm not sure why I was slow there. I was significantly slow. I saw that he was charging up his grab attack, but I honestly didn't know if I was going to be able to get out of the way in time because it took so long to move. So I'm not entirely sure what was going on there. Some mechanical changes for sure. The sloppiness continues though, and that definitely will come back to bite us if we don't clean it up soon. We have another room or two in which there are no enemies, so we'll get a little bit of healing in between rooms. We don't need you anymore. Well, the stars look a little bit different as well, which more clearly demonstrates how many ranks we have on a given keepsake. So we were talking about how it would be nice if we could get the Aphrodite attack boon, so that might be next on our priority list. I think we might go that, or otherwise we go straight into doing something defensive like Ghost Onion. Rather not have to resort to that right now.
Good.
Maybe it's a little optimistic to take something offensive, but okay, Path of Stars, we do still have a lot of gold, so I think we can certainly take that. Might not be the worst idea to take this. Maybe that's how we make up for the silly damage we've taken and what may end up being more damage before
Shouldn't take too long.
we are through with this floor, and we certainly want the boon. Don't think we need to expedite any of that stuff, or at least it's not urgent enough for that to be the case. And we still have a fair bit of gold remaining. That's the benefit of having taken
Come on, Tula.
the gold keepsake.
Search there.
I assume this is going to be fish? Oh, yes. And this is automatic fish with Tula, right?
Go, Tula. Victory.
There we go.
Don't pinch me, you.
Oh, and you have a little star next to the fish as well to show you whether that's one of the rarer ones or not, because they do vary in value. They give you the bones when you sell them back in town. So that's also just helpful, make it a little clearer to the players. Okay, so let's hop in. Of course, we know who the boss at the end of this zone is. Perhaps the enemy most likely to end this run. This floor in general has caused me some trouble in the past. It is a relatively small room here though, so I feel like, yeah, we can go a little crazy on the special. Now, the timing of that was our keepsake just reaching the final rank. That's actually unfortunate. If it had needed one more room, we could have used it here on this Aphrodite, and then when it ranked up, we would have refreshed our ability to use it, so we could have used it twice on the same floor. So almost amazing from that standpoint, but not, oh, technically, I guess we would have needed a little bit more, so we aren't quite getting the Aphrodite boom just yet. We need to finish this room first. But yeah, small room, which theoretically means our crowd control stuff with Poseidon can be pretty good here. Great if, yeah, we actually don't hit you if you're point blank. So it'd be great if we could make that happen. You have a surprising amount of range. Go. Okay. So we're really looking for the attack boon here of a high rarity, and if it isn't high rarity, we will very likely want to use our upgrade on that.
In the name of Hades.
Let's see. All minimum rarity. Attacks gain power, but we prime magic. That is actually really good if we're going to multiplicatively increase the damage of our attack when we use the charge attack, but that requires a lot of magic, and we are still waiting on a way to use our magic more aggressively. Oh, that reminds me, we probably would want the keepsake from Selene. If we can squeeze that in, that would be great, if we don't need to take a defensive one after this. So, this is good. We would like for it to be a higher rarity. Is it worth using our rarify on a base rare? I am surprised we're getting such low rarity stuff. It feels like we don't have our Arcana card that gives us the higher rarity stuff. Any boon, increased chance for duo, chance for legendary or at least rare. Yeah. Boons offered have increased chance to be epic. It seems like we're getting a lot more of the basic rarity ones than I had remembered in the past. I'm gonna go for the reoffer here.
Let's see how this goes.
We do get the attack. So I think we rarify this and then we'll run with it. Ideally, it would have been a little better still, but I think that can still be a big difference maker for us because we were sorely lacking an attack boon. Crowd control you, otherwise you will be very annoying. Outrange you. We'll just go in on a 1v1. And we do need to be close, however, for our Aphrodite boon to kick in, which is a little counterintuitive with what is usually a ranged attack, but I think we can still make that work, at least at times, especially if we're stun locking the enemies like this. Oh,
special delivery.
This is the random boon. More Aphrodite, okay. Gain max life and max magic now and for the rest of the night. Ooh, that's good early. We do like this. We'd like it to be higher rarity, especially since we are paying for it with magic. This would be a good source of magic restoration. So yeah, I think we would like to see a fair bit more Aphrodite in the future. But this one, the earlier you get it, the better. And it is the highest rarity option. Okay. This gives us a little more max life. And this, I don't remember if it gives us any little bonus stats. I think we'll do this then. Life is usually the thing that we care about most. I feel like the special would be really good against these skulls. I'm not sure if that's what hit me right as I was saying that. Might have been one of those swords. It's kind of like a protective shield. Or at least one that deals damage and can potentially knock back some of those enemies, but...
It's been too long.
Oh? What? Huh? Oh! It's Icarus, I think. I didn't recognize his voice at first. Oh, that was horrible damage to take. Okay, I would like to get rid of you. You're really annoying me. Yeah, this room is actually a lot longer than I had thought. I did not expect there to be this many waves. Ooh, hello. There we go. We haven't been able to use the aspect very much. Hopefully that can change soon. Okay, so this will now give us 5 life, or actually 6 with the bonus from Aphrodite. So it's a tiny bonus, but it's non-zero.
Wait, what are you even doing here? I thought you were supposed to be bound to the underworld, but here you are, commandeering warships and whatnot.
When you say that as if this is our first time seeing you, which that is definitely not the case.
I am still bound there. I just loosened the bindings a bit. Though I feel absolutely wretched now. So if the legions of Kronos don't stop me soon, my blood curse surely will.
Really? Because you look great. You look...
Whoa there.
I mean, unafflicted by a curse of any sort. Maybe a little seasick is all. Just take one of these, hey? Here's what I've got.
Alright, let's see. Charge moves also deal 50 damage in an area around foes they hit, but use more magic. That would have great potential long-term, but we really need some form of magic restoration. Gain armor. Next time you lose all of your armor, become impervious for 8 seconds. If we got this later on the floor, such that we would have a decent chance of it being active and going off against Eris, that'd be amazing. But I'm guessing that will expire long before that. Each time you clear 7 encounters, receive a delivery of healing and palm slices. Ooh. I mean, this is early enough that I think that can definitely add up. And the healing is certainly nice, especially because we've not been doing all that well on this run thus far. We've been taking some silly damage here and there, so the heals every now and again could certainly help. And here is our shipment for more Selene stuff. Hex deals damage in a larger area after using Hex. Deal more damage in the encounter. This is the thing that we have most ready access to. Or the multiple blasts, which is helpful since enemies can just move out of the radius and then it does nothing, which is kind of frustrating. That's what happened when we were fighting Polyphemus. We could make it all the way here, except that it does increase the cost a little bit, which is not the end of the world, but again, it just all comes back to it'd be best if we had a little more magic / magic restoration, then suddenly that becomes much easier. I feel like we do that. That would be nice if that if you'd use that on a boss and then it functionally means that I'm pretty sure the boss would take plus 30% damage for the rest of the encounter. So if you do it early, and since we start with an 80% charge, we can hit the boss almost immediately, then that could pay off quite a bit. Now, we can't get there all the way just yet. Extra AoE would certainly help too, just to make it more likely that it does land, but okay, we'll do this. Oh no, we have to do this first. Yeah, I want to get a little bit of AoE, and then we're jumping around a little bit, but a little bit of power, just so that next time we can be sure to get the debuff. Okay. Don't like sword dudes because they have an alarming amount of range. Very easy to underestimate. Like that. Come on. There we go. At least he's gone now. I'm guessing this is not the only wave. Oh, it is. Okay, so as I was saying before, technically Zeus, I think, is one of the gods that we still need to get the keepsake from. However, Hermes very likely would be more beneficial on this run, so I think I am still going to go with Hermes. It's not like it's urgent that we get Zeus as quickly as possible. It would be nice. It would definitely be nice. Ooh, okay, I would like to get rid of you. Ranged enemies, please go away. Really, any of these enemies going away would be nice, because there are a whole lot of them. And I did see that coming. But it was not quite quick enough. I'd like for us to be a little bit quicker, in general. Hopefully Hermes can help us a bit in that regard. Oh, okay. No, I think we did still get one of those guys. Come on. Oh, again, the point-blank area where we actually don't hit them does mess with you sometimes. Okay, here we go.
In the name of Hades.
Let's see, channel your charge cast and normal cast faster. We were saying if that were attacks, that'd be amazing. Gain dodge chance and move speed that increase the more boons we have. We do have a decent number at this rate. Or we can dash more frequently. I mean, it's still just 0.5% per dodge, which is not a great number. That is high rarity. It does allow us to dodge quite a bit. Let's see, we're going up. So we will be facing Eris soon. And yeah, that would probably be helpful for her against not Polyphemus, Prometheus. Probably helpful as well. And then Typhon, I mean, any and everything we could get would be helpful against it. I mean, it's not bad. It's definitely not bad. It's potentially very good.
Spectral gate activated.
And here is the healing that we were saying might come in handy, and it definitely did. We also got some upgrades. I thought it was palm slices in addition to healing, except I'm not sure what got the palm slice. So we already had you upgraded, didn't we? Or does it alternate between palm slice and, I do not remember there being an eye on these ships. Does it alternate between palm slices and healing? Or they're staggered? I mean, either way, we could use the healing. That was probably more important than the palm slice, so that's fine. They're actually pigs now, rather than
Evening, little pigs.
Orangish, pinkish, reddish sheep. They were supposed to be pigs all along.
You have arrived here swiftly, Poppet. And I presume that it was not solely the work of winds and currents and the like. The messenger god Hermes speeds you onward, yes?
That is true.
I have his boon this night. The gods are not so embattled that they cannot aid me in my voyage, and our strength is greatest when we share it. Though, why do you ask?
It's simply that the gods have limited awareness of my whereabouts, and I would keep it thus.
Oh.
No room for many visitors, and the Olympians would surely be aghast to look upon so modest of a place.
Okay, let's see. Grow in size, so we have plus 15% max life, and deal plus 15% damage with our weapon. Interesting, although I don't know, that might increase the size of our hitbox so that we take more hits, technically. Randomly draw one of your active arcana and upgrade it. Most of our arcana are fully upgraded, so I don't know what that would do. There's a chance that everything is fully upgraded. Randomly draw one of your inactive arcana and activate it. I feel like it's one of these two. And maybe now that we're starting to get some of the attack bonuses that we were looking for, this makes a little more sense. Also, it just... That says both healing and palm slices. Did I just skip the palm slices? I might have just walked right past them. Because the healing, it just like immediately applied to us. Whereas the palm slices, I might have needed to actually click on it. In which case, oops! But okay, we should hopefully have time to still get more of those. I think we try this out.
So mote it be.
And I think that there's a chance, yeah, that was supposed to be 25 extra life, but it actually turned into 26 extra life again because of that Aphrodite, this one here, this boon. So we're already up to almost 250. Are we slower? Oh no. I'm pretty sure it made us slower. It didn't say anything about that, or at least I don't think it did, but we are absolutely slower. At least it absolutely feels like it. I don't know if it's just a...
Thank you for having me.
Just an optical illusion of sorts because our character model is now bigger, but it feels like we are slower. And that, if I had known that, I probably would not have agreed to that deal. Gross. Trying to get rid of this guy because this guy is really annoying. But so on. All these guys, they just have tons of range. I'm getting really frustrated right now. The number of little hits that feel like the guys right next to me, I'm wailing on our attack as quickly as possible. It should be staggering them, and yet both of them were able to hit us. I don't understand why that was the case. Alright, I think I am still going to go with life here. So we are getting bonus life. More of it we get, the more that bonus starts to add up. Oh my gosh. So the throw begins. At least I have to resist it, as it feels like that's what we're starting to experience here, as of course Eris approaches in the relatively near future. I was dodging in the opposite direction, and I was stuck in an animation. The frustration continues.
No, you don't.
So, like, this is what should be happening if I'm consistently hitting an enemy. They should not be able to hit us back, because they should be permanently staggered if they don't have any armor. I don't think we can afford to... If we hadn't taken as many hits, we might be able to get away with it, but I don't think we can on this occasion. The gold, we're still doing okay, even though we spent aggressively at the start of the floor. We've had some time to build up more monies. We should still have a lot by the time we get to the shop. I see the guy with the spear. The guy with the spear has now immediately run to the other side of the arena. I was trying to chase him down, so this is rather unfortunate. I still see the guy with the spear. The guy with the spear is now chasing me. Now he runs away. Oh gosh. At least that guy's down. It's definitely the most annoying of all those enemies. Okay, again, I think we're going for bonus life more or less whenever we can. And then didn't we... Hold on. Let's double check. Does this say anything? Grow in size does not say anything about speed. But as I said, I feel much slower. We have that dash, but what I wanted to check... Gain extra life and magic. Gain bonus life based on your magic. This is what I was looking for. Okay, so technically, it is the magic that gives us even more bonuses. Which, if I remembered if this gave us magic, would be helpful, but I don't.
I'll take it from here.
Yeah, I think it gives us something. It might be a tiny bit of gold. Oh, that's about to turn that into fire. Yup. You do have armor, which you're still able to hit me even when you're actively on fire. I did not notice. Oh, more friends. I think I dodged through that quickly enough that it didn't actually hurt us. Trying to get rid of your armor, but you're making that really hard. Okay, now theoretically, you should get stun-locked by this. At least the big guy. Now you should as well. Okay.
I can use this.
There we go. Here are the little ones. Okay, but we didn't get healing that time. I think this is just objectively incorrect, the way this is phrased. Each time you clear 7 encounters, receive a delivery of bonus or healing and palms. We did not get healing this time. We did get palms. We did not get palms last time. We got healing. That should say or, not and. And that's important. That's significant, at least on this occasion, when, again, we would really prefer to have the healing. What did we get upgraded? This again, I think. And then Heartthrob Blast damage. We need Magic Restoration. I think we're still taking the life, though. Bonus life. Okay, I know you... Oh my god. You fire a whole bunch of projectiles. I was on the correct side, and then I dashed when I didn't need to, and ate all of them. I think I've said this before, or at least more or less said this before, but I'll say it now because in case you can't tell, it's very much the way I'm feeling. There are times when Hades 2, and Hades 1, to be fair as well, just felt like it was pretty cheap with the way it was doing certain things. Like, did we take damage from that? I think we did. That's ridiculous. We took damage from that. I feel like some of these are certainly mistakes that could be fixed. He says as Death Defiance activates there, but I'm getting really frustrated. Like, really frustrated. Like, I'm not enjoying this experience right now. And that doesn't feel good. Part of that's rust, maybe, to a certain extent. Part of it's that I don't like how slow our character is, and some of that is stuff that could have been more carefully considered and avoided. But some of that was pretty deceptive, because the game did not tell us that one of those things was going to make us significantly slower, and yet it did. This is supposed to heal us and give us palms. It's not doing that. That's just wrong. Don't tell me it gives both if it only gives one. These little things, and then, you know, just the more positioning, occasionally taking hits that I shouldn't be taking. That is obviously, it's skill issue, yes, but also sometimes getting locked into animations that don't seem like that for whatever reason I'm not able to dash out of, or things along those lines, which has led to us sometimes taking damage that, yeah, you know, again, should just be avoiding that altogether, but in other cases it's like, no, this feels like, you know, a little unfair that I'm still getting hit by this, that my character isn't doing the thing that I'm saying I want to do. So that, you know, enough of those things add up, and the frustration starts to build.
May I?
We started working with Charon back when we had to figure out a system to transport all the mortal dead down to your father's realm. Must be more pleasant hauling messages from us.
Let's see. Our cast? Right now we don't have anything on our cast, right? Yeah. So inflicts daze, does a burst of damage. Now, obviously, we're about to run into the Eris fight, which is the one that has ended several runs. In fact, I couldn't tell you when the last time we actually beat Eris was. So that's not a great sign. Dash being faster and inflicts daze, we might need that, in part to make up for the speed we lost. I think we probably do. And the daze is theoretically a defensive layer, a little bit. How much that actually adds up remains to be seen, but okay, I do think we need this. It does give us a little bit of life as well, but it makes it so we can actually do a little bit more of the charge style that we wanted to be doing, but we just never have really been able to get that kicked off. I think we skipped that one. Okay, so this could be the end. Recent history would suggest it will be, but we shall see.
You're huge! Like you and Yumi are a child, which, come to think of it, is just about the worst thing I've ever imagined.
Oh gosh.
I've imagined a lot.
That also is, I'm pretty sure, a new face, like a new facial expression for us, a new art.
Then imagine what I'm about to do to you in this form, courtesy of Circe the Enchantress. Had you not been so delinquent, you could have learned from her yourself.
That was different. That was not the same voice actress. That was significant, or at least our voice was lower. Did they lower our voice because we got bigger? That might be a thing. Either that or I doubt they would have changed Malinois's voice actress halfway through development, because then it would be kind of obvious. Some of the lines are using the original person with a slightly higher voice, and the other ones would be with the lower voice. So I would like to believe that that was an intentional change that they did for us because we got the increased size.
Learn to become a freak, you mean? That's the difference between you and me. You need somebody to teach you everything, while I've got pure instinct.
Well, here goes nothing. Where'd you go?
Look at him fly!
Waste of resistance on that. It did hit you with that, thankfully. Theoretically, I think that means she's going to take more damage for the rest of this encounter, which would be really nice. Ooh, this is among the attacks that I just don't understand how to dodge. instant resistance on those guys. Gross. And probably all of our remaining resistances on that. Okay, our sprint is way faster, so that I do appreciate. I think that was a good choice to go with that. Let's see, you're charging up something there. I think that's still, in many ways, the special remains our primary damage dealer. Oh, that was a bad place to stand. You are back. And that attack lasted way longer than I thought it would. I did not see what you were doing. That was closer than I wanted that to be. Okay, that does deal damage. We've been killed by that before when she changes phases. That has a lot longer range than I think it has. I remember that. No, that's bad. Where are you? I feel like I'm getting a little bit of a better sense of what skill she's about to use, which does help. Except when you get stuck.
Look out below.
Whoa, okay. Trying to use these apples for cover more strategically. And you find yourself in a situation like this every once in a while, and it's not great. Ooh, almost ran into that unnecessarily. There you go. Same spot. Don't want to be here. Obviously, one hit will use another Death Defiance. Honestly, as I was saying before, beating Eris is a success in my book. Anything beyond that is a bonus, given how things have gone against her as of late, and given how we've had some rough patches already in this run. It does seem like by being further away, we can kind of entice her into using some of those other skills. Woo! Like that one, which is seemingly one of the easier ones to hit her while she's doing.
Here it comes.
Okay, so she has this, and then I think she has one more time when she enrages to get additional damage.
Bombs away.
Okay, dash through that. That one I did not read very well. Fortunately, she attacked a whole lot of nothing. That was close. Oh, does that mean the cover is now gone? Because as I said, I was using that a lot. Uh-oh. No. Not fun. Don't do that. I don't appreciate that. Especially when I'm basically trapped. Where did you go?
Here you go.
I had no idea where Eris went. It wasn't Eris who hit me, but I still had no idea where Eris went. Can't dodge, or can't use that as cover anymore. Oh my god. Oh my god. It's just... I don't enjoy this. We do still have this one that we can try to hide behind as I get stuck behind it. Okay, see that, except we're not fast enough to dodge it. Does that make sense? Design-wise, very logical.
Nice try.
Okay, this is her last phase. This has killed us before, specifically her just phasing there. She is almost dead, though. There we go. Okay.
I just got here.
So thankfully, we did defeat Eris, which, as I said, I could not tell you when the last time was that happened. So it is good from that standpoint, and it was also the boss we had to kill in order to get that nightmare. Is that what that resource is called? But we are very close to having to use another Death Defiance. We still have 2 left, which is nice, but the build does not feel great right now, and the mistakes are certainly continuing to add up.
The embodiment of strife has vanished, yet her influence remains, as earth and sea alike remain embroiled in a cataclysmic conflict she is keen to endlessly perpetuate.
Eris must be having the time of her life.
Yeah, there's a lot of conflict to perpetuate right now.
Done there.
Yeah, you hear this too, right? All of our lines sound different now. And I think the intention is to make it so that our voice is lower, which is sort of true, but it also just sounds different. Okay, so we have 311. Honestly, we could use all of these things, and fortunately, we can afford them. I feel like on Olympus, there aren't that many shops outside. Oh, outside of the one in the penultimate room, except like I don't know if we've ever seen a dedicated shop room on Olympus, except for that one. However, you can get other mini shops like this, so I'm just trying to factor that in when it comes to how much we're willing to spend here, because if we do buy all these, it's going to take up the vast majority of our monies, but I think that is probably still worth doing, because we are in need of all those things. Okay, and we can switch our keepsake. I was saying if we could get more moonbeam stuff going on, that would help a lot. I don't know. The hex it's just been so hard to get the hex going on this run. Really looking for something that either automatically charged the hex, and we did not see any possible upgrades there. Maybe that's been removed with this update, or magic restoration so that we can more reliably or basically continue to use our magic throughout even a long encounter, which just has not been something we've been able to do thus far, and that's theoretically supposed to be one of our keys to success. So okay, I think we will still go with this, although it might be tempting to take something defensive like a Ghost Onion, or, you know, we'd like to save the Luckier Tooth for the final floor, but
Might as well.
we use enough Death Defiances that you could make the case it wouldn't be a bad insurance policy here. Oh, I feel like that was a little more new stuff to it. Also, what are you guys doing? You're fighting each other, I think. Maybe I should have let that continue for a little while longer. Just feels like our damage is non-existent. Oh, yeah, that's bad. That's silly. Now the armor's gone. You can still hit me with your armor gone. You were not getting staggered. You do have the ability to block, and you have damaged me quite a bit, in fact. Please just go down. Please take one hit. Okay, we really want this so we can benefit from the moonbeam as quickly as possible, although this is also helpful. Okay. This, I heard... Oh, that's not where I wanted to land. I heard that that had been changed so that you land a little bit more quickly after you lock in a spot, and then it deals damage in a larger area, I think is what they changed. But I really wanted to hit one of these guys, because these guys are... They can deal a lot of damage. Come on. Come on. No. Oh my god, it's just horrible execution on my part there. Of course, it's not the last wave. These are the guys that I said many times before that I do not like, because they can do that attack for a very, very long time. Please don't do that. Oh, that can damage them, though. That is nice, I suppose. Please hit him. Want to take him out for me? Thank you. Now to deal with you, though. Okay, staggering you is very nice. I don't know if it works once you're already in that animation, though. It might not. There you go. Fortunately, it doesn't do that much damage per hit, but it's basically unstoppable once they start doing it.
There it is.
Okay, so there is the magic,
Yes.
which also gives us a little bit of life as well. Get one of those. This should be a very big deal for us, though, because now we have 8 to work with. Now, we were trying to get this. Oh, we didn't have that yet. Okay. So, yeah, that's very important. And I'm hesitant to do anything that makes it take longer for us to charge up our hex, because we already have a very finite number of times we can use it in a room. Unless we get this. It's really the only other way we can increase the rate at which it charges. I do like getting the AoE just because, since we can only use it such a limited number of times, making sure that we get value out of it is a pretty big deal. We have 6, though. 1, 2, 3. We could go there. 4, 5, 6. Might go for that. Yeah, a little bit of both. The powerful stuff that increases the cost, while at the same time making it a little bit easier to charge it back up, though this is only against the big bosses at the end of the floors. Charged cast. What even is our charged cast right now? That would be... I cannot look at the page right now. It's our cast... We don't have any boons for that, I don't think. So... It's not great, to tell you the truth.
I walked the path.
Is that supposed to be Malinui's voice? Because that sounded totally different. To the point where I wasn't sure if that was supposed to be Selene or us. We also probably should have invoked that. Upgrading you would help a bit, although I've been underwhelmed by that thus far. As I was saying, this has been a bigger deal. We would like to get a cast boon, so maybe we do go here?
Caught.
A little bit of gold along the way. At least you guys are slow enough. A little bit easier to just spam that. Now things change, though. If we can isolate one of you, that would be ideal. It's long enough to take you out? Okay, good. Use this spot in the middle to help protect us. Theoretically. see them off screen? Get you all right next to each other. This is what we want. Trap you in the corner. Love to get rid of you before these other guys show up. No, please don't do that. Please don't do that. Said it before, and I've in previous runs, and I've more or less already alluded to it here. It felt like the enemies on this floor were significantly stronger than the enemies on any other floor. Maybe that made sense when this was the final floor on the surface. Even then, it still felt like it was a little bit too much.
As expected.
But now that it is not even the final floor, it feels very excessive. And it's not even just that the numbers of damage, that the amount of damage they deal and the amount of damage that they can take is too much. Mechanically as well, it's primarily a mechanical thing. It's just there are too many things that are very hard to avoid, or just last for such a long time that you can dodge them initially, and then they still hit you with the latter half of the skill, and the damage does start to add up. And obviously, at that point, the amount of damage it deals per hit does matter.
In the name of Hades.
So it just feels too punishing in that way, relative to other floors. Like, compare it to Tartarus, and it feels like this is significantly harder than Tartarus. I think we have to do this because we need something on our cast. Now, if we could get double hits on the charge attack, I actually don't know how that works if you've charged it up a lot and you're getting higher damage per hit. Because if you're getting multiple hits when it's fully charged and you get that huge base damage on that, then that's actually really nice. Obviously, it's only a 5% chance that happens, so it's not like that's likely to add up to that much. But when it does happen, could be good. All these are normal rarities, but it really feels like...
Sure.
Definitely different voice actors. Definitely feels like the rarity on average is much lower than what we had before. Okay, so we don't have a lot of gold, because we did spend a lot at the start of this floor, but as I said, I don't expect there to be that many opportunities for us to spend on this floor, so I feel like we might take this. Because we need the magic, and it also gives us a little bit of life. We could use that too. Probably should have just let you guys... I will let you guys stack each other for a little bit here. Nope, nope. Oh my god.
Be gone.
I was gonna say, these guys look like they were just doing some kind of explodey attack and they weren't using a ranged attack, which is strange, because usually they use the ranged attack when they're alive, and then they use... Oh, I pressed the wrong button. I tried to invoke that. And then I got stuck. That attack lasts way too long. It might be slightly shorter than it was before. Almost killed you. It was helpful. And there's still apparently a lot more on this floor. I do like that you can deal a lot of damage to that guy. Take him out. Nope. Nope, you're not going... he dealt a little bit of damage. Maybe now? There we go. Okay. I mean, I remember at the beginning of encounters, you would have times when they might damage each other. But I didn't remember that really being the case long-term. Even after that initial phase, after you'd sort of been discovered. least armorless. Theoretically, that makes this a little more straightforward. We just haven't really been able to use our aspect much at all either, although that's something maybe we could lean more into. Okay, so there's the magic. Gives us a little bit of health. Here's the random boon. It's Hephaestus. We have 4 earth boons. And that means 20% damage. I mean, that's not bad for both attack and special. Damage based on armor. Whenever we take damage. Shrug some off and restore a ton of magic. I mean, I'd rather not have to get hit to get our magic back. I would like some of those ones that do it more either just automatically or based on some other condition. I think we're going to take this for the...
Something to procure.
The damage. I did not see that. Oh, that's a fish.
Caught out.
Yeah, that's 1 star fish. Okay, it's a mini boss for Hephaestus, or it's a normal palm. I think we have to go palm because we're sitting on 62 life. Theoretically, supply chain is going to activate after this next room, and despite how it says and, it definitely is or. I think it most recently gave us the palms, which I think means that this time it will give us the healing, which would be welcome. That time we actually got good value on the slam, which is nice, but it's definitely not going to be the last enemies in this room. I think it's partially that it's really hard for us to get any sort of meaningful range with our build right now. We have the attack. The attack is not unlimited range, and it does deal more significantly more damage at close range with the Aphrodite boon. Now that was, of course, something that we had planned on taking, the Aphrodite boon, but... Oh gosh, that's a lot. However, given our lack of other sources of range damage, like our special is very close range, it can change directions! And that, for what it's worth, the fire breath attack can also damage the other guys, the automatons. You're gonna find a way to hit me with this too? I'm surprised you didn't. Surprised that didn't hit me either. Ah. No, it's palm slices this time. Alright, well, I mean, it's very clear. If you had any doubt, it's only one of those things. So we got palm slices, oh no, hold on. Did we get slight bit of healing there? I don't know. I don't know, man. That's a double slippery slope upgrade. Which one is... Oh, we're just getting this upgraded like crazy to the point where it's probably getting a bunch of diminishing returns. Well, it's 10% per upgrade, I can tell you that much. Faster sprint speed, just a little bit. Better close-up attack damage, or further upgrade this. But I think we would like to see more Poseidon boons so we can get more than just this benefiting from the froth, although then again, we already have an attack, a cast, and a sprint. So unless we're swapping one of those out to get a higher rarity version with Poseidon, I don't know that that's even possible to happen anymore. I think we go for this. It is a Shaw. Or Poseidon.
Another tremor.
It says location 39. That might mean this is the penultimate room. I didn't think it was. Oh no, that's a mini boss, so it's definitely not the penultimate room. Okay, I'm glad I took another look at that. We would almost immediately be dead after going in there. So I didn't expect for there to be a shop mid-floor, which means we are probably going to run out of monies.
Before you go.
Oh, there's a lot of stuff to do here. That. There's this. If nothing else, even if this run has been certainly frustrating at times, and I mean, it did at least make it past Eris, so there is that. And we have collected our fair share of resources as well. Okay, now I need to focus for this, because I'm used to Rhinos bailing me out. Did I get that last one? I don't know if I did. But either way, got a fair bit from that, so that is nice. So now, ooh, 241. Any more gold urns by any chance? We can basically buy, yeah, we can only buy one of those things. We can almost afford Apollo plus magic, but we cannot. So I think we have to go hammer in this case. I mean, unless you do this with the idea being that you'll get more life, and therefore it's a little more likely you can survive one more room. Not sure, actually, if the next room is gold for the shop, because we're going to see the penultimate room coming up very soon, and we're going to be broke for that. So having at least some spending power would be nice, or obviously take the free life from the Centaur Heart. Okay, we'll do this. Special deals extra damage to armor. Channel your charge attack 50% faster, and it uses more magic. Projectiles from your specials orbit faster. If it orbits do the projectiles go away when they hit something, or do they persist? I honestly don't remember. Because if they continue to circle around us, even after hitting something, then the faster they orbit, the more they can hit. It's functionally a 20% damage upgrade, or close to a 20% damage upgrade on our special. However, if they do not persist after hitting something, then that means that this doesn't benefit us that much. Makes it more likely that they get hit by our special rather than sneaking through, in between a couple of the projectiles as they circle around us, which has probably led to us getting hit on several occasions. It's a little more defensive in that way, but I don't know that that's that helpful. I think we have to do this, and it just means we're going to eat through our magic at an alarming rate.
Enchanted for the night.
Does mean our charge attack damage potential is, or at least DPS potential is much higher. But this is tricky. If we think we can get by without taking damage, this is better. Probably. If not, this. Actually, no, I think it is this either way. If you think about it from the standpoint of, this is functionally 100 gold. It is 100 gold. This is the equivalent of 125 gold, and we're also getting a little bit of bonus value on it from one of our previous boons. Wherever it is. So you could argue it's actually worth a little bit more than that. Does mean that we might end up going into the penultimate room shop, and we just can't afford anything, which would be disappointing. But we're still at 41. There's a chance we might be able to get enough to still afford something there. Yeah, once again, I should have let them attack each other at first. Okay, these guys can block, even when I'm seemingly sneaking up behind them. I wish the special had a little more range. Just have to get so close for it to be able to hit anything. I'm assuming these guys are not going to be the final wave. Is it the first wave? I'm not going to invoke yet. Trying to time it. Play very safe. So they don't like you sneaking up like that. Don't like you surrounding me like that either. That was a whiff. Like, I want to be able to hit you from the other side of this. But you can't really unless you're right on the edge. I can sort of do this. Please don't block everything. Okay. Now I might hope. Okay. Probably would have helped if I had realized that I wanted the enemies to be standing right next to the statue when I did that. Well, that's still actually providing some value. Quite a bit at that. Wow, okay. Statue coming in absolutely clutch. Absolutely clutch. There was another one over there as well. I did not even realize. Okay. Now I think... Oof. So we have 113 gold. It's enough to potentially buy something. Presumably, from clearing out the next room, we'll get enough to at least be at 125, if not potentially 150, meaning that we could purchase anything but a hammer at the next shop. If we take this, and obviously we'll have over 200 gold, we could buy, guaranteed, at least one of anything, potentially two things. But again, the Hephaestus upgrade is theoretically worth a little bit more. It's worth 150 gold at a shop. So by that metric, we would expect for this to be more valuable. What is this? Fresh sustenance? Is that healing? It delayed that much? I do not even remember ordering that anymore. Also, this looks significant, but it isn't. Yeah, I think we're gonna do this. Okay, I hear them fighting over there, so I'm gonna let them do that. But let them beat each other up as long as possible. We do have a little more health now, so we're not quite as desperate, but of course, we could use just about every advantage we can get at this point. But like, you guys were armored. You have the little skull next to you. You lost that armor, which is helpful. It would also have helped if I had realized if there were any of the statues that we could potentially invoke, because I'm not seeing any. I do see that. That's insane. There's nothing to invoke. I don't like that. Charge this up so that I can charge that up. There we go. Big value. Potentially could have gotten even more, but just having the ability to thin out this pack I think is pretty useful. That was one of the main reasons why I was concerned about them. Okay, I did get hit by you. Did not see you were charging things up. Okay, you actually saw our damage scale very quickly there because our charged attack started to kick in. Not even intending to do that, but that was actually a bit of a good sign. Okay, let's see. We have 100 armor that lasts for 7 seconds at the beginning of each encounter. Kind of useful. Weapon deals more damage based on your armor, and we gain some now. I've been hesitant to take this. I know we've seen it a bunch just because it requires, likely, a bunch of additional armor support. Like, combine these two, and it'd be great. But don't think we can rely on being able to get both of them. Oh, we do get bonus damage. Where is it? Based on the number of earth boons we get. I mean, either way, that's gonna happen no matter what we take here. This could be a source of damage, or of magic restoration. We have gotten enough base magic now. It's not quite as desperate. Although, in boss encounters, it would be really nice to have something like this. So, I might go for it. I wish it wasn't magic restoration based on us taking damage. I wish it was from almost any other condition. Okay, I think we go magic here. Again, we do still like magic, and it does give us extra life. Okay, they're fighting each other. Let them continue to do that. we're actually getting gold from this as well, as they apparently took out one of those guys. We have not really been able to use our aspect at all. Oh my gosh. That was a lot of stuff. I do think we got rid of a lot of it, which helped. But still. I think in some ways those dragons are sort of the most concerning. I'm surprised we did not get damaged by that. We did get damage from that. The amount of damage they deal is much higher. It's very high. Ooh dear. And it can go over cover, apparently. Oh my god. It can hit, basically can hit you anywhere and can change directions, as we previously established. There's almost nothing you can do to avoid it, unless you see it from the very beginning that it's coming. Come on. Oh, you just killed the dragon for us. Thank you very much. Okay. That was close. And we restore a lot of health. Okay. Good thing we did play it as safely as we did previously, because if not, we might have found ourselves using another Death Defiance just before that healing kicked in. Okay, so I'm thinking this is now going to be the penultimate room, meaning that there won't be any enemies, but there's the shop we're expecting to see. It would mean this would be an empty room with just a heart in it, which is kind of nice given how we don't have a lot of money right now, but with almost 200, we should be able to purchase probably at least one thing there, and then if there's one more golden urn, we'd be able to get even a hammer. Otherwise, we take this. I mean, it's still big value. I mean, we're at 413 max health. We're just not anywhere near max health right now. We're less than 50%. So, if we could get any percentage-based healing, kind of like the item we just picked up, that'd be lovely. In fact, I think that means purchasing healing from the shop would be the most valuable thing right now. This gives us a little bit of health, but if that does show up here, that would make the shop most useful. Now, we don't know if that's going to be there. Okay, we do get a few golden urns. Oh, okay. It's not the best of shops. I think we're probably just purchasing this. Yeah. Yeah, so we took a bit of a risk. We didn't know what was going to show up here. See what we get. Oh, hold on.
Debating what to do about mortals who turn their backs on us.
Duo, potentially?
I think a year or so of plague should settle up the score, but Lord Poseidon here thinks it's more important to go big.
Why would you not go big, given the choice, my delicate nephew? I'll shake the earth so strongly it shall swallow all those nasty mortals up and deliver them straight down into the arms of your comely cousin there.
Okay, so I don't know if we've gotten their duo boon before. I think that's why we're seeing them both talk it out. So what is this? Your sprint creates a watery globe behind you, which surges ahead once you stop. 300 max blast damage. You say max blast, which implies that it's possible to have something less than the maximum amount. But then it only works every 2 seconds. I mean, it's more damage, so we'll definitely interested. I'm just curious how many fire boons we have. Oh, we have 3. So, and while we have at least 3, whenever we take damage, restore some life. Honestly, that's actually extremely good. You could almost make the case this is, in fact, you probably could make the case this is better, because we have so much life right now. It was, what, somewhere in the 400s, which means you heal 30%, so you're healing over 100 health every time you get hit. It's not instant. Okay, it happens over the course of 5 seconds, but technically speaking, in some cases, that means the best way to get health is by getting hits, which is insane. but that is mathematically true for all but the biggest of hits because we have so much max health. So, oh, also I just realized the name of this boon. If any of you have ever seen our Mass Effect 3 multiplayer streams, you would understand I am contractually obligated not to take this boon. I'm sorry. I cannot take the beach balls. I can't do it. I won't do it. So yeah, we're getting a lot of healing every time we get hit. The downside is that it's not instantaneous, but it means even more max health would make that even more beneficial. And given how we've already burned a few Death Defiances, that is very intriguing right now. And in long fights, that could definitely be really useful. Especially since our damage is still not great. But it works really well with the Hephaestus boon that we picked up that gives us magic restoration when we get hit. So suddenly we do want to get hit, at least ideally by small hits. So the memory puzzle from Prometheus is not something we want to get hit by because that deals a ginormous chunk of damage. That's the biggest thing. Other than that, I mean, we'll see. We did pass up on the damage from the Duo Boon Wave, which would have been really cool, but alas, here goes nothing.
How was the climb? Do you hear that?
I think that's a new animation.
The dark side of the mountain even now. Impressive that you cast him down before, but he shall not rest till the palace of Zeus lies in ruin.
Okay.
He'll be destroyed. You along with him, if that's what it takes. If he were truly unstoppable, you wouldn't be impeding my ascent. You're buying him time.
I'm really curious, though, if they have some kind of... It doesn't sound like some kind of filter they put on Malinois's voice. It sounds like a completely different person who did these voice lines. Again, I'm assuming that that is because we had that boon from Cersei that made us bigger, and so it was like, oh, haha, you're bigger, now your voice is lower, type of thing. But maybe it is that, for whatever reason, they weren't able to keep the same voice actor who did the first half of Malinois's line, so they had to change and write all the new, or have all the new lines recorded with a different person. That's unfortunate if that's the case, but the reason why I'm wondering even now if they did just record the lines back with another actor is because that's a whole lot of voice lines to have to do. So that would be insanely time-consuming and expensive for the developers to do that. So I would be surprised for what is a pretty niche thing for them to have taken such extreme measures to do that. But maybe it is a filter, maybe, I don't know. I'm not sure what it's all about, but it's definitely not the same type of voice that we hear before.
Even for deathless such as we, but no more stalling for now.
Okay, no more stalling. No more stalling. We wasted one of our resistances. Does that heal? It did not heal us. Okay, that was also wasted resistance, but... Okay, so we would like to do this. I'm not really sure what just happened there. Okay, I'm also not sure what the best situation is in which to use our Hex against Prometheus. I guess maybe right after he does one of those... Oh, hold on. That was not a great place to put that. Some of his attacks have somewhat long animations. Here. I'll try to just keep you here for the time being. Like that. So I think we did end up getting the upgrade that makes him... take more damage. Oh, he can have two of those simultaneously? I did not remember that. And I also thought that you could only do one of those. His movement is a little different as well, just the way he looks as he's doing it. It's not here. Oh, okay, that was not the best timing for that. Whoa, I thought that was a circle slam. Not that move. somewhere where we're okay with it being. Right, and we can be more aggressive with the magic as well, which I'm going to make more of a conscious effort of. Okay, hold on. Not top. Bottom. Bottom, bottom, middle. Okay.
You saw it all.
I did see it all. No, don't run away now. Oh, you gotta be kidding me.
We have you surrounded.
Oh, you do have me surrounded. You're not wrong. That is you. For some reason, I thought that was one of your friends for a second. Oh, your friends went away very quickly. On the occasions where I am able to really start charging this up, it does really start to add up. That is easier said than done. No.
No, you don't.
No. No. Let's put this here, I guess. Just it would make such a huge difference if we had, like, oh my god. Okay, one moment while I just try to dodge for a little bit to give ourselves some time to heal, theoretically. Okay, no, it's... I think our next Death Defiance is incoming quite soon. Oh. Top? Not top. Middle. Bottom. Oh my god. Top? Not top. Middle? Bottom? Then middles across the board, I think. Okay, I did not think I was going to remember all that. Don't like this! Oh, okay, there's the Death Defiance. Please actually stand in this. Thank you. Probably shouldn't stand in that, though. It's just, it would be so much easier to hit you with our charge special, or rather our charge attack, if it just had the tiniest bit more range, but it has such little range. Oh my god. So I basically, when I use the charge attack, I need to just accept the fact that, okay, I'm going to take some damage when I do this, as I just did there, because that's the only way I can get it off in time. There we go. Okay, so it did cost us another Death Defiance, unfortunately, but that is another boss down.
Why then should I, when I could fight instead?
That's definitely new art.
This too shall pass.
Okay.
Go lick your wounds. My claim.
Alright, so at least Prometheus down, and at this point I suppose that means, okay, you know, did we expect to defeat Typhon for sure this run? It would be nice, but can't ever guarantee that's going to happen, so maybe we've already gotten a decent amount of progress here.
Companion, save for a single feather left behind, as if to goad the princess on toward greater heights.
Just no more eagles, please.
I agree. It's kind of Icarus-y in a way. Okay, fortunately, we can get some percentage-based healing here. Oh, also that.
Some coins.
And this. Okay. Some healing there. Now, I think is time to use the luckier tooth.
The tooth.
So we at least have 2 Death Defiances from that. And It's a lot of healing. That's very tempting. In fact, we can afford both of these things just barely, and I think that is probably worth doing, or alternatively we get this, which does give us some health as well. Seemed like the way they calculated the math on this, oh, okay, is not exactly how I expected it. For some reason, when I saw this, I thought when it said damage recovered 30% over 5 seconds, a little more wording, a little more specificity would be helpful, because I thought that initially that meant we recover 30% of our total life over 5 seconds, so that theoretically, if we got poked for 1 damage, we would still restore far more damage than we took, and so on net, we would be actually benefiting from getting hit, at least as long as they were small hits. But that's not the case. It is, we restore 30% of the damage that we took. But nowhere does it actually say that specifically. It just says whenever you take damage, restore some life. It should say restore... Something should say that that percentage is based on the damage you took, not based on your total life. There's just lots of these little things that, again, they add up, and they are significant, because I would not have taken that boon. We may have taken it before, so maybe I should have known better, but I probably would not have taken it had I realized that it was calculated based on the damage we took, rather than based on the amount of health that we had in total. Okay, so this is the final floor. This is a dangerous floor. It's a difficult floor. We haven't spent that much time on it. Ooh.
Tula, be my guest.
So as I was starting to say, I don't think we can ever say definitively that we expect to make it all the way to this floor, let alone complete this floor on every run. Obviously that is the goal, but it is still a relative challenge to do that. Okay. And there are several mini-bosses that are practically full-blown bosses along the way. And I remember we figured out a trick for the second of those two. It has like a slam attack where it creates a circle. I think it starts off with being a really wide circle that then narrows in toward the sort of tail-like structure that is the boss. And then there's a second one that then emanates from the boss and goes out toward the edge of the arena. And if you dodge through both of those circles, that actually becomes the largest window in which to damage the boss. So that will be key if we make it that far, but that is not a given. That is not a given. Nothing is a given at this point. Everything is going to be challenging, and I think they may have said they added more bosses to this floor. I honestly could not even see where we were. There's so many things going on the screen that I was not sure what was what. Don't mind me. I would love if you would stop running away. At least just... Oh, okay. I was about to say, at least just stand still. Really? Stand still! Okay, hold on. Sometimes we get a slam after the fact. No? No slam? Okay. Onward we go. Okay, not really sure I wanted to go there. Probably did not want to immediately dash straight into the enemies. Oh gosh. Again, range. Range would be lovely. But that's... I don't think that's possible at this stage. Come on, get rid of the armor. Get rid of the armor. Just get rid of the armor. Slam. Nope. Okay. We did get a fair bit of health from all the, oh, this is going to be the first mini-boss. Might still go for this, I think. Yeah. Let's do it.
Closer to the top.
We got a fair bit of healing at the start of the floor. But we've taken a lot of damage already, of course. The lack of range is going to be a serious problem for this fight, I think. This could very well be where it ends. Oh, I couldn't even... I was actively running as fast as possible out of that circle, and I still didn't have time to escape. That, again, it's just these little things that they add up that feels cheap. This is like, I recognized that was something I needed to avoid and immediately ran away from it, and yet it was impossible for me to escape. So what am I supposed to do? Hey, I got stuck there. Because that is very fast. Okay, so I want you to dash here. And then get stuck, basically. That is so fast. That is ridiculous. There's no time to dodge that. I can't see what you're doing. What's this? Stuck in the corner. Oh my goodness. It's just, there are too many things. There are too many things that feel cheap. When it's not the case, it can be great. But there are too many of them. They add up. To the point where it becomes hard to avoid them. They start to define the run. And that makes me feel really frustrated. Wait, what? I lost my Death Defiance, and then I used my Death Defiance, and then it immediately took away all of my health after that Death Defiance? Why? Why did I lose all my... Was I immediately in the area of effect of the attack? And so it counted as damaging me immediately? Even after that Death Defiance? So functionally, it just used 2 Death Defiances in one attack? That's ridiculous. Like, I'm sorry. That's just bad. That's bad design.
No more mistakes.
Or maybe we hadn't used the Death Defiance, we were just low on health? Because that was our last Death Defiance? I don't know. Looking to use the Hex here. Next time you get stuck in one place, except that it's probably not long enough, especially because you're gonna probably dodge or something like that. Oh my gosh. It's not even the right direction that I'm facing. Just through the middle, which wasn't really where I wanted to go, except I think you were still in that. There we go. Okay. Just barely made it past that guy. I'm not sure what happened with the Death Defiances. Maybe I thought I used one when I actually hadn't. Would love healing instead of these palm slices. That was damage on the cast, an extra sprint speed. This is likely more significant. As with 5, we might be able to take everything. I think we can. Does mean that, oh, and then some. Oh no, actually we can't. I take it back. Let's see. More power. Deal more damage, larger area of effect. The area of effect is getting quite big. The main question, I think, is this. I mean, we can use any and every form of defense at this point, I suppose. It does mean it costs more, but it is probably still worth doing. And either one of these gives us extra power.
The path across the sky.
There's one that we haven't gotten yet, but I think that is not going to make a huge difference at this stage. It is now, well, barring some incredible form of life restoration or death defiance restoration,
Next floor.
gonna be pretty difficult for us to make it out, especially if we get immediately clobbered by that and that. There's the random hits that I was saying I was expecting before. Well, there is some random healing. It is very well timed. Well, it's not entirely random because we had purchased it previously. Oh my god. Sneaky. Very sneaky. And I can't even hit you until you pop up. How do I hit you? I just don't have a window to attack you. In that case. Oh my god. He still hits me with that. This is a basic enemy, mind. Or, okay. It's sort of a basic enemy. Avoided that. Okay, and now this is the second of the two kind of sort of mini bosses. Aphrodite or Hephaestus. There was that Aphrodite boon that we did not pick up that gives us the flat attack damage at the cost of priming a little bit of our magic. We have enough magic at this point that we'd probably be okay with doing that. So that might be the most beneficial thing, or some of the other... Did we end up taking, Oh. Oh, okay. Path of Stars. I don't remember getting a Path of Stars, because we were just saying we probably don't need that, but the most important thing is this upcoming boss fight, because this very well could be the end of the run. And what do we benefit most from? Because the armor from not Polyphemus, Hephaestus. That's what I'm thinking about now. Oh, technically, get more earth boons. We get a little bit of bonus damage from this as well. So maybe we do go with this guy. I don't know why this one I don't know what that icon next to the skull is. Does that mean, like lore from Homer? So I have seen it before, but I haven't really given it much thought.
Pyre.
Okay. Hope this is, yep, it is the spot. Okay, let's see, that. Do not see where you went. Okay, you're doing. I don't even remember how this works. It's been a little while. Oh, okay, well let's just damage ourselves while we're at it. These guys explode. Which, as we've seen, deal damage. It'd be nice to get rid of them while we can, if possible, without taking damage, ideally. Okay, this is the thing that I'm waiting for. So we do that, we do that, now we can do this. Oh gosh. Okay. Love to get a good window of time to do that. I don't know how I'm supposed to dodge that. I went to the opposite end of the arena and then I tried to just get iframes based on the timing of the dodge, but I guess I did not time that properly. Those things are actually really annoying. Not gonna lie. Here you see the Damage starts to hit into the thousands, which is good. That's how we get the big numbers going. Go. Doing one of the big blasts? You are. Okay, so I think we just have to dodge this based on timing. Yeah, like that. Another one of these. They're just everywhere. These guys. Oh, that was a terrible place to get stuck. It as well. This, dodge, dodge, charge. Try to get the big damage going. What are you doing? You're doing big blast. No, I didn't time it.
Return to shadow now.
All right. Well, there we go. Apparently, that is how it ends. Lots and lots of stumbles along the way, and so making it to that fight in the first place was maybe an achievement in and of itself.
Typhon is not impervious, no matter how it seems. I have to get back there.
We did make it past Eris, which, as I was saying, was in some ways the boss that I was most fearful of, because we had not been having much success with her in the past. So we at least did that. We got Prometheus defeated as well, so we picked up some things along the way, some good crafting resources, saw some of the new changes, although probably still a fair bit more that we've yet to see.
Prometheus refuses to elaborate about your past with him, Dora. But he believes you're going to remember soon enough. My worry is you're better off not knowing.
We did hear this previously, that there's some history between Dora and Prometheus. I had suspected maybe Dora was the human that Prometheus gave fire to initially, because that was the thing that Prometheus was punished for doing. So it seems like that would be the most notable way they could be, they could have a relationship or, you know, some sort of shared experience.
And what makes you say that? Besides
That's
the part
new.
where I've already told you I get a not great feeling just from sounding out his name. Prometheus. Ugh. Yeah, there it is.
She looks very different like that.
He gave me the impression you forgot about him, and much more by choice. If that's true, perhaps it's for the best. If only for the sake of your past self.
Forget my past self, Mel. My current self is pretty caught up now in getting to the bottom of all this. Isn't there some sort of witch spell you could do to jog my memory or something?
That might actually be a thing. Incantation,
Well,
maybe?
now that I know of this specific connection you seem to have, it's something to work with. But are you absolutely sure it's what you want?
Oh yeah. It's gonna be something good.
I'll
Oh.
take your word for it.
Okay, so that might be new. That was recent enough that I was wondering maybe that was just going to happen next time we talked to Dora, regardless of the fact that we just got a new update. But I think all those icons we just saw,
Welcome back.
that one there, and we had one previously when we spoke to Medea, I think those are all new.
The prophecy concerning Typhon's reawakening, what made you think it would never come to pass? I thought the weavings of your sisters were always certain to come true.
The fates are not always straightforward. Their prophecies are represented visually, not written in detail. At least the major ones. I thought my interpretation of Typhon's return was likely misguided.
So the fates wove the image of some terrible monstrosity climbing Olympus, and the gods all desperately trying to fight back, and you thought it meant what?
Good point.
Well, it wasn't that exactly. Though I didn't take it quite as literally as I should have in hindsight. I thought it prophesied that the Olympians would have to stand against some sort of existential threat.
Which is true, and would still be a big deal.
Well, you weren't wrong.
Yeah. I didn't think that was worth warning anyone about, though. Nothing going on there. Is Artemis still over here somewhere? It doesn't seem like it. I don't hear the singing. She was right... Yeah, right there. Before. But not anymore.
Thank you for having faith in me.
Cause of death? Dracon. Draken? I don't actually know how you say that.
Malenoy.
Okay.
Dora's memory isn't gone, it's buried.
So there are some new things here, though we can't afford all of them. Let's see. Or we might not be able to afford any of them. What is this? Gain the ability to reattempt cleared chaos trials. Oh, that would be kind of fun. For the rewards of bones instead. Okay, that was, I think, something that I had mentioned as we were doing some of the chaos trials. I mean, some of them are really challenging, and maybe if you're up for that kind of thrill, then you may be interested in trying them again. But then there are also ones that just give you this really overpowered build, and sometimes it's not even possible to get those in a standard run. So having the ability to just mess around and do those again would be kind of fun. Is it worth what is... I mean, that's not crazy. I don't remember how we get flux. But I think the molly and the fabric is not that expensive. So I don't think that's a high priority, but it is potentially something we may pick up later. Let's see, what's this? Enhance Grave Thirst to also unearth gemstones whenever you vanquish guardians. I'm going to be honest with you. Gemstones existed in Hades 1. Do they exist in Hades 2, or is that new? I don't... It's the same icon as it was in Hades 1. But now I'm racking my brain like, have we seen this before? I honestly don't remember. If so, then we've not spent much time using them. Let's see. Quickening of sentimental value. Cause your equipped keepsakes to reach the next rank 100% faster than before. Okay, so that's interesting, because that's convenience. You know, technically, if you already have your keepsakes ranked up, or you don't mind taking longer to level them up, then you could save a little bit of money in the process, a little bit of resources in the process. Mandrakes, they're a little bit rare, and those lures... Don't remember how we get them. Obviously, we don't have one right now, so that might be a little pricey. Might just brute force them, depending on how hard it is to get those. Still not possible to get what I imagine is the recipe required to functionally beat the game, get the true ending. And for what it's worth, the developers strongly suggested that the next update that they do for Hades 2 will be the full release. However, they did not put a timeline on that. They said, you know, we're going to take our time, make sure we do it right. Obviously, I mean, the game already has a ton of content in it, and in many ways it feels like a full game already, but the key missing piece is this, that we don't have a resolution to the overarching plot line yet, at least it doesn't seem. This. Compel the Shade Dora to remember something about her long-forgotten mortal days. One's memory can deceive, warping the record of reality to suit the mind's whims. Restoring it is delicate work. Requires darkness, which we have seen as a necessary component for some other recipes as well, but I still don't know how you get it, to be honest with you. And all the other stuff we have. Over on this side. Is this where we get lures? No? I feel like I was mixing it up with the beast-loved morsel. I mean, it might just be the resource you use to invite people to the fishing pier, which obviously, as I was saying before, we have not done very much of the whole gifting nectars, going to the fishing pier, the baths. I think there might even be one other way we can spend time with people, but I don't even remember what it is, which is testament to how we've not focused on that much.
One further secret of the Oath of the Unseen I shall reveal now.
Oh?
When you feel suitably prepared, consider this. Then perhaps we shall clash under a new set of circumstances.
Okay, I think I know what you're alluding to here.
The secret to the Vow of Rivals.
The Vow of Rivals. So that is all those things that have that blue crescent moon icon. Those are the things that have definitely been just added in this update. So that, I believe, the thing that Hecate was just talking about, is the way to alter boss fights and make them theoretically more difficult in the process, potentially more rewarding as well, although obviously we've yet to experiment with that, so maybe we'll give that a shot next time around if it is now accessible. But we can still chat with you.
Fire thief Prometheus insists on barring your path toward the mountain summit still. What nonsense has he filled your head with recently?
He seems to bear a deep sense of responsibility and guilt for mortal kind. I'm concerned he aims to spread dissension in our ranks. Some shades who serve our cause must harbor sympathies.
It sounds to me as though you are beginning to harbor such sympathies yourself. Do not be deceived by his lofty claims. He sided with our enemy and made that clear.
It's clear that he sided with our enemy. His exact intentions, though, or, the reason behind his actions, that's still a little unclear.
Yes, understood.
What am I doing here?
Oh. I don't know. Okay. Now, let's see. Moondust, I feel like we've purchased / ordered a lot of this in the past, and so we might not have that much more need for it, because we've upgraded most of our Arcana cards. There are several recipes, though, that require Fate Fabric, or at least one, so maybe we go with that. Even if it's technically not the most prestigious of items, and obviously we can purchase that too. Stardust, Nightmare, we can buy those. Yes, they are much rarer and more expensive for that reason. Stardust is the one we get from the Chaos Trial, so we have a fair bit of that stockpiled. Nightmare, we got a little bit of that. This is from putting on the extra fear and defeating the designated boss, so this one's a little bit slower to farm. But I think what we would be more... Oh yeah, so here are the lures. Okay. So we could buy one of these. It's not that expensive, and then do that. Maybe we do that. We do this and get the recipe. Get the recipe going. Again, it's a convenience thing. Oh, that animation looks a little more dramatic.
Heed my voice. In your potential, I have made my choice.
By your will.
Okay. So yeah, it helps us power up our keepsakes a little more quickly. It's a convenience thing. It speeds up the grind, but if you're willing to do the grind, or you've already done a lot of grinding, then it might have little to no value to you. Could still pick up some more of these things to help us socialize more with our friends, but otherwise, I think we can pass on that, at least for now. Well, let's sell the fish that we picked up, because that's what they're here for. And that does basically pay off the fish lure that we purchased. No nemesis?
Goddess, I wanted to ask you more about Prometheus. By your own estimation, is he truly mad? And if he stands opposed to all your family, then who set him loose to begin with?
This might be a new picture for Odysseus as well. And a lot of talk about Prometheus. Of course, he's not the most recent boss added to the game, but it may be that either the NPCs are just kind of catching up after we did a whole bunch of other things that they wanted to talk about. Now they're only just starting to circle back to Prometheus. Or it may be that for whatever reason, that was one of the things that Supergiant, the developers, wanted to focus on adding additional dialogue for with this update, since they definitely did add a lot more dialogue, they said.
I don't exactly know on either count. He speaks in riddles sometimes, but he doesn't sound as though he's lost his mind. My suspicion is that the forces of Kronos liberated him in exchange for his obedience, but...
But he's no hired thug, is he?
No, I think not.
What is the distinction that you are trying to make? Are you suggesting he is not completely loyal to the God of Time? Okay, we'll plant one of
Live
you.
and thrive.
And some mystery seeds, sure. Throw those in.
A new crop.
Now we have just enough room for all these guys. Oops, there we are.
Into the earth you go.
And there. Okay. Anything new with you?
May you have pleasant dreams.
It seems not. Okay.
Now for the silver pool.
Oh, it is giving us the exclamation point. Hold on.
Revol, I see you gather countless dead in cold and dark domains. The hidden aspect of hell.
Ah, okay. So here's the... Wait, where is it? Here you are. The hidden aspect. It's not 2 L's, it's 1 L. Okay. Is that S-Read from defeating Typhon where we get that? It's definitely on the final floor of the surface. It's a little tough to get. And then the adamant, I think we got a little more of, also on the surface. But what does this do? So it's the skull. You have Frost Mane, which grants the Way of the Valkyrie after your special. What does that mean? Frost Mane is an alternate moveset. Attacks burst fire without using skulls. Specials seek foes. Then, after we special, we get the Way of the Valkyrie, which makes our attacks fire continuously, but we cannot use charge moves. Lasts for 3 seconds. So it seems like you kind of alternate between standard attacks and then... or charge attacks and then standard attacks. And your Valkyrie attack speed is higher. So it seems like this could be a very significant change to the way that the weapon works. Perhaps even more so than other aspects have been. But that is not cheap, getting that. Well, we could double check where you get that resource from. Thrown in the crossroads using plankton. We didn't happen to plant any of that just now, did we? Can we even see what these are?
You'll grow up in no time.
I think that was olive. I don't know that we are getting any more from this round of stuff. But at least I think it's the seed that you get on the summit, which is maybe slightly easier to get than the piece you get from defeating Typhon. I mean, of course, if you do well, you're guaranteed to get the Typhon piece, whereas you might get unlucky and just not see the seed ever on the surface. But you don't necessarily need to make it all the way to the end. Any other hidden aspects? I mean, it seemed like this was the thing that Medea was talking about, and that was how we got the chance to see it. But there were a few other things kind of like that, where we got the blue crescent moon showing up, but I guess they weren't aspect related.
Even in all your wisdom, Commander, how is it that you know so much about the Oath of the Unseen? As far as I know, it predates even my father's rule within the underworld.
Oh, wow.
Oh yeah, your papa took a different tack. Was that about his packs of punishment?
It's true.
Even served your brother with him once when they were really on the outs. But Boyo just went for it, and then things really heated up.
Oh, Hades 1 references, little Easter eggs there.
You didn't answer my question.
I'm not gonna, for I made certain vows myself.
Oh, okay, okay. Well, let's take a look here. If anything has changed on this end, yes. Okay, so this, the Guardian of the first 1 or 2 or however many regions, okay, you can only do it one at a time, shall be stronger in various ways. So that's the new way to change things up with the boss fights. I'll rescind it for now, just because I don't know what we're gonna look to do with our next run, but we did try a run with the torches specifically because those had been reworked, and I think that also might have had something to do with us at times running into some issues because the attack speed is more inconsistent. It's like, I don't know how best to describe it, but there's like a longer... If you average it out, it might be similar in terms of the number of attacks per second you have, but there's a weightier in-between period, which may actually be harder to cancel out of. I mean, now I'm trying to do that in does seem like we're still able to, but that's the kind of thing that, as I was saying before, it seemed like at times it was just bad positioning that caused us to get hit, and those hits started to add up to the point where we used Death Defiances earlier than we would have liked to, and all that stuff. But other times when it just seemed like we were not moving the way that I wanted our character to be moving. And we also got bigger, which seemed to slow us down secretly, which was a little strange, but that might have also had something to do with it. So little things that just, there were a lot of them, unfortunately, that started to add up and made it so we weren't able to defeat Typhon, but we got close. And as I was saying, I feel like, you know, you can't ever act like you're guaranteed to defeat the final boss on every single run. Otherwise, you're going to be disappointed. It is a roguelike. You are supposed to die fairly often. We did see some of the new stuff, but we now have seen several more things that we can check out with our next run. But I do think this is the right place for us to wrap things up. So thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.